Good day, my scholars. Welcome to my school channel. My name is Alexandra. So in today's lesson, we'll be looking at phrasal verb, still under English grammar. Please stay with us, do not go anywhere, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. So right now we'll begin with the lesson. Now do not forget the topic is phrasal verbs. Now we have 4 objectives for today's lesson. So at the end of this lesson you will know how to define a phrasal verb, the concept of particle prepositional phrasal verb. You'll be able to list examples, example sentences and meaning of common phrasal verbs that we have. Then you'll be able to differentiate between a phrasal verb and a prepositional verb. Now, let's begin with the first objective. What is a phrasal verb, or how do we define a phrasal verb? Now, a phrasal verb is a combination. A phrasal verb is the combination of 2 or 3 words the meaning of which is different from the individual words that make up the group. Now, a phrasal verb is the combination of 2 or 3 words. Now, these 2 or 3 words, the meaning is different from the individual words that make up the group. Now, let's give an example of phrasal verbs so we understand the concept more better. So, if we have look after. Look after is a phrasal verb, okay? And the meaning is not the same as the individual word. The meaning of look after is a phrase, is a group of words. So when I say group of words, I also mean phrase. When I say phrase, I mean a group of words. So these 2 are classified as a group of words that's functioning as a phrasal verb. And why is it a phrasal verb? Because it has a different meaning from the meaning of the individual words. Now, when you say look is to fix your eyes on something, okay? And when we look at after, we look at, okay, something that comes next. But then that's not what look after means. Look after as a phrasal verb means to take care of someone or something. That is to look after. But here it is a phrasal verb. So that's why we say a phrasal verb is the combination of 2 or 3 words, the meaning of which is different from the individual words that make up the group. So the meaning is different from the individual words. So you need to learn phrasal verb as a system because the meaning is different from individual words. Now, in short form, you can say phrasal verbs are phrases that have idiomatic meaning. Idiomatic meaning means that the meaning is different from the individual words that make up the group. That's what idiomatic means, okay? So when we say idiom or idiomatic meaning, it means that the individual word is different from the words that make up the group. So we see look after, which means to take care of someone or to take care of something. Okay, now what's the formula for a phrasal verb? It is usually verb plus a preposition. Verb plus preposition. So we can see look here looks like a verb and after preposition. but here it is a phrasal verb. Now that's the combination of a phrasal verb. Now let's look at the concept 3. We said 2 or 3. Here we have example of 2. Let's take a look at an example of 3 words that will make up a phrasal verb. Look down on. So when you look down on, this is 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, when you look down on someone, you regard that person or thing as inferior. So you feel that you're superior. Okay, you regard the person as inferior. That's what it means. But when you look at the word individually, it doesn't interpret the meaning I have just said. Okay, to regard someone as though the person is inferior. Okay, so we see look down upon as a different meaning from the individual words that make up the group. Now this is a phrasal verb. Now this brings us to the concept of particle prepositional phrasal verb. Particle prepositional phrasal verb, because this can be regarded as an example of particle prepositional phrasal verb. Now where did this originated from? Now, a lot of people would define phrasal verb as a combination of a verb plus adverb, while some will say a verb plus preposition. Now, the adverb is where this concept originated from. Okay, so sometimes a verb plus adverb can make up phrasal verb, and so it is termed as a particle prepositional phrasal verb. And usually, they come in threes. Okay, we have 3 different words making up the phrasal verb. So, look here is the verb, down here is the particle, which is sometimes regarded as adverb or adverbial. Now, what does it do? It is telling us more about the look. So this has an effect more on look. Okay, it has an effect more on look than this. So on here is acting as a preposition. So you have verb, adverb or particle, and then preposition. Now let's take a look at some other examples of particle prepositional phrasal verb. So now, before we look at more examples of particle prepositional phrasal verb, let's discuss about the concept. Now, when we say particle, particle also means adverb, so they can be used interchangeably. Now, have you ever wondered why some scholars or linguists or authors will say phrasal verb is a combination of verb plus adverb? Now, this is quite reasonable because when you look at preposition, or when you go through my previous video on preposition as a word class, we looked at forms in which preposition can take. So preposition can take the form of an adverb and an adjective, and we looked at examples of this. Now that is why some scholars will come up and say phrasal verb is equals to verb plus adverb, because prepositions can look like or take the function of an adverb in a sentence. Please, if this is strange to you or you're new to this, click on the link in the description below which takes you to the My School website. Go ahead and subscribe so you can get the full video of the lesson on preposition as a word class. Now let's continue with this. Particle prepositional phrasal verb. Now why is it particle prepositional phrasal verb? Let's take it for example, keep up with. Now, according to particle prepositional phrasal verb, is the combination of verb plus particle, which is also called the adverb, and preposition. Now, do not forget that an adverb tells us more about the verb. It influences the verb. Now, this is the verb, this is the particle, and this is the preposition. Now, up is expanding the meaning of keep. It is telling us more about keep. It is the reason why this is changing. Okay, so we have keep up. Why? With is the preposition. Do not forget that a preposition expresses direction, location, connection, and so on and so forth. But this adverb here is telling us more about this verb. So it has influenced this verb, it has changed the meaning of this verb, it has expanded the meaning of this verb. So keep up with becomes a phrasal verb, and it means to move or progress at an equal rate or at the same rate. Okay, that is what keep up with here. And that's the concept particle prepositional phrasal verb. Now, I consider particle prepositional phrasal verb as a terminology to explain the 3-word phrasal verb. Do not forget we have the 2-word phrasal verb and the 3-word phrasal verb. So the 3-word phrasal verb can be called or referred to as particle prepositional phrasal verb, where you have a verb, the particle or adverb, and the preposition. So you can see that the preposition in this sentence introduces a prepositional phrase with you, showing the connection between I and you. So this is taking a form or performing the function of a preposition. But this one, looking like a preposition, is actually taking the function of a particle or adverb, which is to expand the meaning of keep. So keep up. When you keep up, you're actually moving on the same rate with someone. So I can't keep up with you. So this is the phrasal verb, which means I can't go on the same level with you or move in the same progression as you do. Okay, so let's take a look at the next example. I'll make sure it doesn't get away with its plan. To get away with is to not be caught, to not be punished for doing something. Okay, so I'll make sure it doesn't get away. So this person is saying, I'll make sure that it's caught and is punished for whatever it is his plan is. I'll make sure he doesn't get away with his plan. Okay, so a substitute teacher is filling in for Mr. Thomas. So we can see the reason. For here is perform the function of a preposition, introducing the prepositional phrase, which is for Mr. Thompson. Okay, it's telling us the reason. Do not forget, one of the functions of a preposition is also to state reason or purpose, and for is an example of such preposition. So filling in for is to take the place. When you fill in for, you take the place. So you have filling, which is the verb, in, which is the particle, and for, which is your preposition. Now these are examples of particle, prepositional, phrasal verb. We've come to the end of this segment, but there is a full version of this video which will entail the rest of today's objective. Well, that is examples, common examples of phrasal verb, and also the difference between prepositional verb and phrasal verb. So all you need to do is you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the My School website. There you'll be asked to subscribe. Please go ahead and subscribe so you can enjoy the rest of today's lesson. Thank you for joining us. Do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.